how are you all? I hope you are fine and I am also fine. So today I have brought the chapter 2 of chemistry, that is matter around us pure? Well, I don't think it is pure, and absolutely it is not pure. It is pure and mixtures. It is compound, mixtures and etc. Many things are around our surroundings. So matter is absolutely not so pure. It is mixture and compounds. Matter can be divided into two according to physical properties and according to chemical properties. According to physical properties, matter is of three types: solid, liquid and gas, which we have already learned in the previous video. So now in this video we will learn about the chemical properties of matter, and there are two types: pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are again divided into two groups: elements and compounds. Elements are again divided into four groups: metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. Compounds are of two types: organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Mixtures are divided into two: homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. So now we will learn about these pure substances and mixtures in detail. So now we will come to the pure substances. What are the pure substances? The substances which are of the uniform composition, which have the uniform composition throughout. They are made up of only one kind of particles and cannot be separated by any of the chemical means. Suppose that we have gold, pure gold. So if we split it out gold, then the particles which are split out will also be gold. The particles, the atoms and the molecules of these separated particles will be gold, and these are the equal and the same composition, have the same composition of the original metal which is separated out from this big part. So pure substance is the one which is made up of only one kind of particles. So what are the properties of pure substances? Yes. Pure substances have definite melting and boiling point. They melt and boil at the same temperature. They have definite specific gravity. They can be separated. They cannot be separated by any of the physical or chemical means. They can be separated by special processes, but the chemical components of these matter will not change at all. So now we come to the first part of these pure substances, that is elements. So what are elements? Elements are the simplest form of the pure substance. Elements are made up of atoms and they cannot be further divided into simplest forms. So elements have four parts: metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. So what are metals? These are electropositive elements, means they can pass through the electricity through them. So these are the properties of metals. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. Heat and electricity can be passed through them. When you have heard about the wires are made up of copper inside. Copper and aluminium are the good conductors of heat and electricity. So they can pass the easily electricity, and it is covered by the rubber or the plastic so that we can get the shock. Otherwise we will die. So they are good conductors of heat and electricity: ductile, malleable, lustrous and sonorous. They are ductile, malleable, lustrous and sonorous. Very hard. They can be produce sounds. When they are beaten, they will produce sounds. So generally hard. These are generally hard, and these are generally metals. These are generally metals. And as you know, metals are very hard. These are solids. But here is some exception, means which are not hard. So sodium, potassium and calcium. calcium are some of the exception. They are soft, they are not hard, but they are metals. So these are some exceptions. High strength. As you know, it is solid, they are hard, so it has also very hard strength. So generally solids, as I have already told you earlier, but exception. Bromine, first mercury and gallium. These are the two elements, these are the two metals which are liquid at the room temperature. So as they are liquid, so they are not solids. High melting and boiling points. This is BP is not blood pressure but boiling point and melting point. Because they are metals, so they are solids, metals very hard. So extra heat energy would be required to melt them and to get compressed again. So they have very high melting point and high boiling point. Not brittle. They are not broken into pieces or they cannot be powdered out. So they are very hard. Now we come to the non-metals. Bad conductors of heat and electricity. They cannot pass out the heat and electricity. But there are some of the exceptions, which are then graphite and gas carbon. These can be burnt out and can be passed electricity. So they are not ductile, not malleable, sonorous and lustrous. They cannot produce sound when beaten. When you will beat it out, it will powder out, break it out. So they cannot be broken into wires. But exceptions in lustrous, iodine and graphite. Iodine and graphite are the exception for lustrous. Means they are not lustrous, very soft, they are hard. Generally soft. These non-metals are very soft, but exception diamond. And as you know, diamond is the hardest substances ever on the earth. So generally low strength. These are low strength. As they can be broken out, can be powdered, so they have very low strength. Generally solid and gas. These are solids and gases, but exception bromine. Bromine is the non-metal which is liquid at the room temperature. So low melting and boiling point, because they can be broken out, powder out very easily. So they have not so much of melting point and boiling points. Brittle, they can be powdered out very easily. When you just crush them, they will just become powder. So non-metals. Metalloids. Metalloids are the special substances. Metalloids are the special substances which shows both the properties of metals and non-metals. Metals are electropositive elements. Non-metals are non-electropositive elements. Metalloids are both metals and non-metals, so we can call them semi-metals. And noble gases are the rare gases. They are present in very small quantity on the earth. So metalloids show the properties of both metals and non-metals. Electricity conductivity in metals is greater than non-metals. Electricity can pass through metals in the greater speed or in the higher amount, but where non-metal, the electricity and the heat cannot pass. So examples: silicon, germanium, arsenic, tin, bromine, boron, tellurium and polonium. Now we come to the noble gases. Noble gases do not react with each other or any of the other gases. They are just stable. They don't need any of the partner to come and involve them. They don't need any of the friends. They are alone very happily. So they do not react with any of the gases. means they are stable. Example: hydrogen, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. So these were the elements which I have just explained you in the part of pure substance. Now we come to the next part of the pure substance, that is compound.